Okay guys, we're making today a how-to on how to use a Javelin, a Stinger, and if I've got time, how to do the mortars as well. So the first thing you do is you go into your editor just to practice it out, and you select where you want to be, set yourself up with a Javelin, that's the player, and we'll get a tank set up as well, and we'll go for a T90 as that's one of the biggest, best tanks, and that'll be taken out in one hit anyway. So, you've got the two targets there. Let's preview this, and then we can teach you how to use it. Now, the mods that we're using for this are the Taw core mods. So this how-to is based solely for the Taw core mods that are being used by the Taw 2nd Battalion, the EU Battalion at the moment in our operations and practices. Okay, so you can see the enemy tank over there, 325 metres away. So we'll get the Javelin out, and when you've got it out, just right-click. Just the once. Now you will find that you're looking at the grass. Don't know why. The tank's not hiding in the grass, but it does it anyway whenever you use a Javelin, doesn't matter what mod you use. Okay, so we'll aim it up at the tank. There it is. Now just divert your eyes to the right hand side of the screen. You can see a top at the moment, the green top lit up. This means that the missile will go in at the top of the tank, and that's usually the weakest part. There's also direct. You can change that by pressing left control. Okay, so you press that, switches to direct. That basically means the missile will fly towards a target directly. And ground as well does exactly the same thing. Now these are things that you use for taking out maybe bunkers or things like that. But usually go for a top of this tank. Not only that, if you've got friendlies in the way, you don't want to be sending it in direct, because otherwise you get told off by your squad leader later on, and you get a gump medal. And nobody wants that, believe you me. Okay, so first thing you do, once you've got it selected on top, is you notice on the tank it says T90 in the red there. Now that may or may not be on, depending on the settings on the server, but basically you just need to aim it at the tank at a stable area. Now press tab and just press it the once, okay? It will then lock on as such with the beeping and the white cross, and that means you're ready to fire. So you fire one, target destroyed. Now on a T90 it is quite a heavy tank, as you can tell. Sometimes they will keep trying to move, but eventually it will blow up and hopefully kill those guys there as well. Now depending on where you hit it, it'll blow up instantly or it'll blow up a few seconds later. But always remember, when you do take out a T90 tank especially, they will have crew and you will need to take them out as well. But job done, you now know how to fire a Javelin rocket. Okay, so now we've learned how to obviously fire a Javelin missile. We are now going to learn how to fire a Stinger missile. Now Stingers are obviously the standard ground-to-air missiles, takes out anything in the air. Now usually you only get one rocket for this, so if there is a lot of aircraft, you're going to need quite a lot, of course. Now obviously they're going to have, you know, maneuvers and also things such as flares, countermeasures to stop you from hitting them. All you do here is you aim up through the sights, you see it coming in, press tab again, this will start to lock target. When it makes that awful sound, that's when you fire it off. That's a definite hit on the target. And we'll see if he goes down. So yeah, once it makes that continuous drone noise, that's when you need to fire. And let's hope, yeah, he's down. So that's how you fire a Stinger. So nice and simple, aim it up, press tab once, it will start to make the noise, and then once it's the drone, it will be able to lock on and you can fire it off. So that's how you use a Stinger. Again, this is for the Taw mods, Taw core. Okay guys, so now we're going to learn how to use the M252 Mortar. Now the mortar itself can be placed anywhere in the field, it can be disassembled, put into bags, and two guys can carry it anywhere in the field and set it up very quickly, and can be used to support infantry advances. So basics of it is it does fire up to about 1 kilometre, so you want to set it up in a nice position, but always keep it nice and safe and secure away from the enemy, and protect it. If you're helping out with the mortar team, always make sure you're protecting it. Now, also, another thing to note is always work with people in the field and communication to find out exactly where enemies are and where friendlies are as well, because when these mortars land, they do have, I'd say, up to a 50-metre sort of radius of injuring people and vehicles as well. So make sure you are letting people know when you are using these mortars and keep an eye out. And just listen to, where the friendlies are, because otherwise you'll be told off. Now, so we'll have a look over here. We've got lots of enemy patrols. Well, not exactly patrols, but enemy mechanised units. We've got BTRs, we've got trucks. BMP, I think, is down there as well, or is that a Vodnik? Yeah, Vodniks. And a load of enemy troops. So, we know where they are, just have a look. I'm not working with anyone in the field, so I can't keep an eye on this, but they're not moving anywhere. So, there's a wall there on the road, and there's a larger wall there, so we want to drop them between those two walls. And there's a grove of trees there, which is a possible enemy fallback position once they start hearing the mortars going off. So I'll probably want to stick 1 or 2 rounds in there as well to catch any guys trying to do a runner. So we've seen them now. Make sure we don't forget exactly where we left the mortar, because that's never good. Alright, the mortar itself is very simple. It just looks like a tube with a tripod there. All you do to get it up and running, run up to it, scroll down, and get in as gunner. Okay, so for some reason, Arma has decided that you're going to look at the sky, because of course that's where the mortar's looking, but that's not how you're going to fire. If you can fire like that and hit the target, well done you. Other than that, just scroll down your mouse wheel you see on the left hand side of the screen, you get to back seat, get out, and artillery computer. Artillery computer is what we want, so just hit enter. Okay, so it brings up the map. Here we go. So, this is the minimum distance here, the 76 blue ring around us. Won't be able to fire mortars within that. And then you've got the maximum distance there on this mode. So you look on the right hand side, you've got mode, you've got grid references, distance, things like that. Okay, so what we're going to do, because we're going to use it maximum range, stick it on semi and stick it on far. So this will, as you can see there, increases the size of the blue circle to just over 1 kilometre, so we can make sure we hit this road here. So our guys were between that wall, and there's a grove of trees. So remember, when we do fire this, the enemy are going to know, so they're going to go crazy. So we're going to need to do as much damage as we can in as little time as possible. So to fire, left click on the screen, it'll put a blue cross. ETA is the estimated time for arrival of the mortar, and all you do then is you go to the bottom right of the screen and click fire. Now you see there, ETA there, how long it takes to land, and you can also see the blue line. That is the trajectory of the mortar as it flies along. So we're going to get some more rounds off. We're also going to put one in that grove of trees, because that's where they're going to be running to, I reckon. Because wouldn't you run to cover? So that's what we're going to fire at. So we'll get a load of rounds off, and then we'll have a run back, and we'll see what damage has been caused. Oh, and now I'm being shot at. So they've decided they know where I am, so it's time to hit the dirt, and hopefully those mortar rounds will take out the people who reckon they know where I am. So let's move up. So that's the basics of using the mortar. Make sure you're using it with communication with your team, with your squad, with your whole battalion in fact, especially if you're firing in operational areas. So as you can see there, they reckon they know where I am still. Ooh, and there's rounds hitting all over them. So yeah, we've done quite a bit of damage there. We've taken out a couple of trucks, a couple of vehicles, and a lot of troops as well. And in fact, we've landed one right on top of that BTR APC armour personnel carrier down there. And I would think that would be disabled now, so the gun won't be firing at us anymore. So, very few rounds fired. It's only taken less than a minute to get there, and we've done maximum damage. There'll be more how-tos later on when I can get around to do them, when I can be bothered. Cheers guys, thanks for watching.